Hi everybody, welcome to the webinar, and just give me a heads up, let me know that you can hear me, and we're going to get started right away. It's a beautiful day in Pennsylvania, and thank you for letting me know, Francis. So thanks everybody for coming to my webinar, the best trade setups in 2026. I'm going to teach you what we're using at 10-minute trades to help us to have the best trade outcomes in the year 2026. Can't believe we're already almost into February. We have magnet trades, reversal trades, the ARS system, the aftershock reversal system, traps, breakouts, ranges, earnings trades, and market opens. All sorts of different setups that we trade at 10-minute trades, and I want to show you the best of the best. My name is Lee Goldstein. I'm the trading director for 10-minute trades. Please remember, all the trades we discuss are for educational purposes. It is possible to lose money trading futures. And that's important to understand the way that we trade and what we do at 10-minute trades. We trade using the NinjaTrader platform, and we are trading futures. We're not trading stocks. We don't trade options. We trade the futures markets. We use the NinjaTrader platform. We call it appointment-based trading. We are a NinjaTrader partner, and that is a good thing because it means they have asked us to follow certain rules and regulations about being honorable and trustworthy, and we do that with a smile. So at 10-minute trades, we have a system. We have 4 elements that make up our system: the WMM, which is our weekly schedule, the DMM, which is a daily trade report. We have trade room access, and of course access to our software. Our software is the key to having a good plan and being able to implement the plan. There's no point in having a plan that you cannot implement. So it's very important. If you can do something that you want to do and do it in a way that makes the trade more safe, then that is a big bonus, and our software allows us to take very fast-moving trades in the safest way possible. We call our software the NewsTrader software. We actually have 3 strategies that make up our system. The NewsTrader strategy, inside the NewsTrader we have breakouts, range trades, reverse continuation trades. And then we have our magnet strategy and the trap trade strategy. Our trap trade strategy is a specialized reversal type of a trade. And inside the magnet, we also have our new aftershock reversal system. It's a full-blown signal-based trading system. It works with the magnet and it works on its own. And that system, I am hoping it will be released next week. Hopefully next week. We are so close. So getting very excited about Magnet 2.0 with ARS. The elements of our system, once again, the weekly market mover is our weekly schedule. Anyone can get our free schedule. And in fact, I highly recommend that every trader keep our free schedule next to your desk so you know during the week what news is coming out, and be prepared if you're in the market when important news is coming out and you're trading futures or you're trading stocks and you don't know that earnings are coming out. It could damage your trades. So go to our website, www.10minutetrades.com, opt in for our free video, how to find your own 10-minute trades, and we'll send you our free weekly schedule. Our second element, as I said, is the daily market mover, the daily trade report, trade room access, and then all 3 of our strategies make up our trading system. This is an example of our weekly schedule. We call it affectionately the WMM, Weekly Market Movers. It shows the trigger time of the event that we're trading. It shows what time our trade room opens. It shows the name of the event we're trading, the instrument we're considering trading, a possible risk level, whether we will issue a daily trade report for that event, and a little bit of notes. Are we going to stream on YouTube? Is it a watch? A watch is like a little heads up. It means maybe the trade is not performing well, keep a watch on it. Maybe it's a new event and we're not fully trading it yet, keep a watch on it. A watch is a heads up on a report that may not be performing well. It may be starting to perform well. It's just a heads up about that particular event. That's our weekly schedule. Then, many of the events that we trade in our trade room have daily market movers that are associated with that event. The daily market mover helps our members trade a specific event. It has detailed information about the event. Some of our daily market movers have a mini journal up to 6 weeks or 6 months data or 6 quarters, depending if it's a weekly trade or a monthly trade or a quarterly trade. All trades and events are different. And our daily market mover, it's like a trade report. It tells us how we're going to consider trading that event when we get to the trade room. And on that trade report, there might be a couple of different ways to trade the same event, because not every event has just one way that it can be traded. Sometimes there are multiple ways. You could take a magnet trade. You could take a reversal trade. You might want to trade at the exact moment the news is being released. Those are the things we discuss in our trade room. Those are the decisions that we make in our trade room. And that's what we do when we vet and study the events. We figure out what the best way to trade the event will be. Our appointment-based trading method, and that's what we call our system, appointment-based trading, it's a simple, time-based, pre-planned approach to the market. You can schedule your trades on specific days up to a month in advance. We generally like to work a week in advance, but doesn't mean you can't schedule trades further out. The reason I like to stay more with a week is because schedules change, earnings announcements, the dates get changed. A week is perfect, but you can still schedule many events well in advance. So we find our trades by studying the various free calendars. And one of the things we try to do at 10-Minute Trades is provide as much free information as possible for our members. We know that trading can cost money. And the idea is to keep your expenses low, try to get your profits high, and maximize your dollars. Because let's face it, inflation is up, everything costs money. We want to try and present as many free tools as possible to our members, and that's what we pride ourselves on doing. We have 3 categories of trade triggers. These are categories in which different events exist. So for instance, Category 1, high impact economic reports. This coming week, for instance, the jobs report, the ISM manufacturing, Caixin manufacturing, a Chinese manufacturing reports. Those are high impact and economic reports. They move the futures markets, and we trade the futures market when those news events are being released. And we trade around events. Years ago, we only traded news releases. Now we trade around releases. We trade market opens. We trade some market closes. We trade big stock tech earnings using futures. So we don't just trade the news at the exact moment, because we also want to be prop account friendly. And we want to trade ways in which the prop account managers and companies will allow us to get paid. So trigger category number 1, high impact economic reports such as jobs reports. Category 2, big company earnings reports. When Apple releases their earnings, most often the market's going to move in a tradable way. When Intel releases their earnings, the same thing is true. So we devised a unique way to trade big stock earnings, stocks that move the futures markets. We have a way to trade those reports. And then category number 3, market opens in particular is what we're interested in. And of course, you can trade market closes. The interesting thing about an open, there's not just one open like people think. Most people think the market open, and they think, yeah, the 9:30 market open, that's the open. They don't realize gold opens at 8:20, silver opens at 8:20. Oil opens at 9. All of those opens are potential trading times that you can find a setup and trade that time. So market opens are very interesting. Currently in our trade room, we trade the oil market open, we trade the US Open, and we're having pretty good success. Oil's been a little tricky for a couple of weeks, but it seems to be coming back, and the market opens have been doing very well. So we love trading opens. And then in our trade room, members are sharing all sorts of interesting setups for unofficial trades. I mean, some of our members trade silver. They trade the silver open. And they share information about their own personal trades. And that's a very important issue that we talk about, a very important feature of being in a community of traders such as 10 Minute Trades. You've got friends and other traders that are giving you advice in the trade room and helping you and teaching you. And it's a great community that we have here, and we would love for more people to join up with us. So once again, there are hundreds of these trade triggers within these categories, and you can pick and choose these trades to create a schedule. And that's exactly what we do every week. We go through the various calendars and we find these trades. So how do we do it? We go to a calendar, for instance, Forex Factory. When you go to Forex Factory, you click the word calendar, and then they give you a full list of a week's worth of events. Well, we have studied these events. I have been trading these events for 8 years, working at this same company, studying over and over what markets these events move. How do these events move? So for us, if you understand what we do, we look at an event every time that it trades. Does it move 50 ticks? Does it move in one direction? Does it reverse all the time when the news comes out? Durable goods, does it reverse every time durable goods is released? Or does it tend to move in one direction? Does it move gold more than it moves the YM or the NQ or the ES? Consumer confidence, the same thing is true. What instruments are best to trade, and how does the event move? We study those events, and that's how we come up with our trade setups. And I'll get into that a little bit more deeply as we go on. But Forex Factory is calendar number 1 that we use, and we love Forex Factory. Every calendar that you look at has a way that they code each event on its impact. Forex Factory uses colors. Red, more impact than yellow, less impact than orange, medium impact. So every calendar has a system. Investing.com, system number 2, calendar number 2. You go to Economic Calendar and they list their data. Now, they've recently changed their format, but we still use their system. They have a star system. If you notice, IMP for importance, 3 stars is more impact, 2 stars and 1 star. But again, they have different events. Every calendar has different events. They don't all do the exact same thing. So for us, it's really useful to go through a variety of different calendars. And then a fairly new calendar that we've been looking at that we like a lot, tradingeconomics.com. What I like about Trading Economics is they, on their calendar, show the grain reports, WASDE, NOPA crush report, a soybean oil report. Once again, we trade futures. These are futures contracts, and they're no different than trading the YM or corn or soybeans or the MNQ or the NQ. They all work the same way, so it's not like you have to learn anything special to trade the grains on the news. TradingEconomics.com, they have very, very nice calendars, and they have extra data on the grains. So that's a nice calendar to look through each week. It helps me to create our weekly schedule. Then, when we're doing earnings, there are certain websites and certain tools that are very important to us. EarningsWhispers.com is the main website that we use to find the initial schedule. When you log into EarningsWhispers.com, they show us greatest hits across the top. And I'm just looking here now, and I'm seeing we've got a lot of good earnings coming up. We've got Palantir coming up next week, Amazon next week, AMD next week, Alphabet next week. This is earnings season. We are excited for earnings season. I passed an eval this week on one trade trading Microsoft earnings, and I passed an eval in one trade in about 15 seconds. And I'm not showing that trade today because that's going to be our trade of the week video. So if you're at this webinar, you will be getting that trade of the week video. But suffice it to say that we had a plan. Our plan worked. It was beautiful. And I passed an eval in like 20 seconds. It was fantastic. But the point is here, earningswhispers.com gives us the best of the best at the top. And then for a deeper dive, you just click the word calendar, click on the date, and then you get a very nice list of all the companies that are releasing earnings after the close. If you click their little arrow, you can look at what's coming out before the open. And we love earningswhispers.com. For instance, I could look at Disney. I can do a deeper dive by scrolling down and looking at a recent chart. Disney's earnings, a whole bunch of different dates, what Disney did previous earnings, were they on time? So earningswhispers.com, a great tool to use for deciding and understanding when companies are releasing their earnings. For us, it helps us to decide whether or not an earnings trade is going to be safe to trade. What makes an earnings trade safe to trade? So there's a couple of very important rules. The most important rule, if you understand the way we trade, all of our scheduled trades, right? I showed you our schedule, but let's look at it a little bit more closely just for a moment. Our weekly schedule has on the schedule the trigger time. So for instance, when we were in the trade room this week, trading United Health's earnings, the trigger time of their earnings was 5:55 a.m. That means at 5:55 their earnings are scheduled. Now, if their earnings come out at 6 o'clock, that doesn't really help us to take a trade. Our trades are down to the nanosecond, down to the second. Our software puts orders on the chart 1 second before the news comes out, and we trade the move that's created when the news comes out. So rule number one that we need very much from a company that we're trading their earnings is for their earnings to be released reliably and when they say they're going to release them. So if United Health says we're releasing our earnings at 5:55, we want those earnings to be released at 5:55. That's when we want the news to come out. Now, if it's 20 seconds later, that's fine. If it's 40 seconds later, that's okay. But the closest it is to the time they say they're going to release it gives us a much better probability of coming up with a successful trade on that event. All of the events that we trade, or I should say most of the events that we trade, we're looking at specific times. The difference is when we trade magnets and reversals on those trades, they are discretionary. So they're not always just time-based trades. Earnings, very important. The company needs to release their earnings when they say, and then of course, and this is true of any event that we trade, the event must move the market enough to have a tradable event. So in other words, when Chevron releases their earnings, if it doesn't move the market, there's nothing to trade. And that's actually what happens when Chevron releases their earnings. It doesn't move the indexes, it doesn't move the YM. But when United Health releases their earnings, it moves the Dow in an incredible amount of data. When UPS releases their earnings, it usually moves the Dow with a lot of movement. So that's what we're looking for when we're trading a company's earnings. And then the final calendar that we use is a calendar called financialjuice.com. Financial Juice has news that comes up when you're looking, but they also have configurable news, but they have one great feature that makes them different than almost any other calendar. If you pay for their pro version, and it's very reasonable, you can get a live news walk box that you can hear the news in your headset if you wear a headset or through your speakers. It is a phenomenal aid for trading the way that we trade. When we're in a trade or right before we take a trade, we're hearing the news is coming, the earnings are coming through right now, so we know when an event is taking place. They say what the event is, so we hear the news in our headset. It makes our trades easier to trade. Maybe we'll stay in a trade longer because we hear what the news is. So financialjuice.com, one of our favorite websites for trading the way that we trade. Our trading can be done in a prop account. There are different rules. All the prop accounts are different. There are a few accounts, they don't allow news at all, but many of the companies, they let you do anything in the evaluation accounts, and then when you get funded, the rules get stricter. So we have lots of different ways that we can trade when the rules are stricter. We take more magnets, we take more reverse continuation trades, less breakouts. We absolutely are prop account compatible. A lot of people don't even know what prop account means. So what does it mean to trade in a prop account? Years ago, when you started to become a trader, you had to have cash, and a decent amount of cash. Maybe you had to have $10,000 to open a cash account with your broker, and the broker would charge you a couple of bucks a month for data, and you'd get your charts, you'd get your platform, and you needed to fund your account. And seriously, you had to spend $5,000 to $10,000, $15,000 to fund your futures trading account or your stock trading account, whatever it is that you like to trade. Nowadays, prop account trading is completely different. Nowadays, you can rent. It's like rent a trade. You can rent the platform, NinjaTrader. You rent the data, you get the live data, and for a very small monthly fee, you have everything you need to start trading. And then you could find a mentor like us. You can subscribe to our software and our trade room and our reports. Put those pieces together. You've got a full-blown trading system. You don't have to come up with hardly any money at all. And if you become a very good trader, trading in the prop account, it's trading other people's money. Ultimately, if you trade well enough, you can take money out. That's the goal, and that's the attraction of prop account trading, to trade other people's money without putting your own money up to risk. It is nowadays probably the most popular way that people get started, because you can get started for literally $20 a month when there is a sale going on for a prop account. And we see these sales all the time. So that's very popular, an extremely popular way to get started with trading nowadays. Once again, our news trader software, our magnet trade, and our reverse continues are all setups that we find in our software. Our software in general, all our strategies, and we have 3 major strategies, they are custom add-ons to the NinjaTrader platform. They install into the platform and they have multiple setups. We can automate our trades. We can put our targets on the chart automatically. Our stops go on the chart automatically. We can move our stops. You have the ability to move your targets manually in NinjaTrader because they have chart trading. Our software literally installs into the platform and becomes part of the platform. So let's talk about what are the things that really help you to become an honest, successful trader. One of the first things that you need to do is set your charts up properly. We show you how to set your charts up, and literally it takes 10 minutes to set charts up the way that we do it. Now, I could do it now, but that's the one thing I'm not going to do today. I'm not going to show everyone how to set up their charts, because you can go to our YouTube channel, and I think we have about 4 different videos on how to set up your charts. The point is, if you set up your charts the way that our charts are set up, they're very clear, they're easy to read, it helps you to see trend very quickly, and our magnet system requires that you, doesn't require it, highly recommended that you set your charts up the way that we set ours up. Magnet trades, and I'll get into what magnet trades are, one of our favorite ways to trade. And if your charts are set up properly, it's much easier to see these types of trades and to choose the best setups, the best outcomes, so that you have successful trades. On our charts, we put the current day open, high, low. We put some pivots on our chart, the VWAP, volume up and down, the net change display, and the squeeze. And when we distribute our new Magnet 2.0, and literally, if it's not out in 2 weeks, I'm going to eat my hat. When we distribute it, we're going to be including with it a chart template that has all of our indicators, all of these NinjaTrader indicators built in, so that you don't have to configure your charts anymore. You'll just load our template, do a couple of quick tweaks, and you'll be ready to go trading exactly the way that we trade. So I'm really excited about that. We are distributing a template that will have all the indicators all set up and ready to go. And we have a video. Here is a link. As I was saying, here's a link to a video. Let me post it in the chat so that you can see exactly how to set up your charts exactly like ours. If you look in your chat, setting it, I'm putting the link out there now for everybody. So you'll be able to set up your charts in 15 minutes the way we set up ours. Okay. And I'll show you my charts in a minute, I promise. So let's talk about some of the best setups. Now, the funny thing is every one of our setups has best setups. So maybe I was sneaky and not being fair when I tried to get everybody's attention by saying, hey, I'm going to show you our best setups during this webinar. So when you went back to slide number 1, right? If I go back to slide number 1, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to bounce around here. I'm going back to slide number 1. Why? Because I want to show you all of the different setups that are available for us and all the different setups that we use in our trade room. Let me see if I can get slide number 1 back. Here we go. Give me slide number 1. Come on. Do I have to do it the hard way? I got to do it the hard way. All right. Slide number 1. Magnet 2.0. That's a setup. Reversals. That's a setup. ARS. Aftershock reversal system. That's a setup. Trap trade. That's a setup. Breakout. That's a setup. Range trade. That's a setup. Earnings. That's a setup. Every one of those setups has great ones. So the key is, how do you decide which are the great ones? And that is by testing and understanding how the events move. So in a bit, I'm going to go into that, but I want to show you some of the setups first. So let's go to the slide that we were just on, and we were talking about what is a magnet? What's a magnet trade? Best setups. What is a magnet? When traders are trading, they're putting on the charts various indicators, various levels that they want to look at. For instance, this line here is the VWAP. That's a very, very important level that people watch. And areas on the chart where lots of traders put their orders around are areas that attract price. Many traders put their orders on the charts at the same places, especially new traders. New traders are taught, use the levels to put your stop. So a new trader looks at the VWAP and he thinks to himself, oh, that's going to hit the VWAP. I'm going to put a stop right above it if it goes above it. And they put their stop 1 tick above the VWAP, maybe 2. Or they put their stop 2 ticks below the VWAP. But hundreds and hundreds of traders putting all their orders in this same area, the VWAP. Pivots, S1, the PP pivot, the low of the day, the high of the day. All of those levels are levels that attract price during the day on every chart. Every instrument. Every instrument has magnet trades. Every instrument will probably always have magnet trades, because from the beginning of trading to the end of trading, traders will put their orders around these popular levels. They're taught to use these levels. Everybody uses these levels because it's like what's the word, when something just happens over and over and over because we do it all the time. That's why levels work. Orders are placed, price gets attracted. So what we came up with is a way to trade getting to the level. When we get to the level, we're exiting our trade. I call the level where we do our exit, I call that the magnet. VWAP is a magnet. The low of day is a magnet. Right before I came into the room, I was watching gold right around here. It looked to me like gold was going to test. It was going to get pulled into this low of day. And that's a magnet trade. When it gets pulled into the low, I'm exiting right at the low. That's my goal. Get out at the low. Also, if you want to have a more profitable trade, very often price will make a new low and it'll go through it. So we have the ability with our magnet software to create a second position that goes through the magnet. So our first trade, exit profitably at the magnet. Second trade, go further. If it goes through the magnet and keeps going, we have a second position and we'll make even more money as we test and break through those levels. So I saw that this morning, actually it was still morning right before I got here, and I was testing the level. I was testing the low as I saw price was breaking down. The squeeze momentum was in our direction, and I made $200 right before this webinar in my prop account, literally in about 15 seconds. Our software helps us to take those trades. We have a complete system, and the system is on this chart right here. It's called the magnet trade. So remember, what is a magnet? It's a level on the chart that tons of traders put their orders around. That level attracts price, and we take a trade to exit the trade when we get to that level. That's what happened this morning on the YM when we traded the high of the day. Right before this arrow, we were going up, 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 and up. We put our orders in this area here. When we made the new high, we exited the YM high of day with a profit. Now, I think I do have the video of this morning's trade, so give me half a second. And let me see if I can find it. I swear I had that video. So let me find it. What happened was we were trading the US Open. We traded the MNQ Open. That was a winner. Darn it. I made a short video. Let me use the full-blown video. I can't find the short one, so give me half a second. Here it is. Okay, I didn't move it. All right, so here's what happened this morning. We were trading a bunch of different trades. Watch this right chart here where my cursor is floating around. We put our magnet trade on, and what a magnet trade does, it puts a heavy line on before it gets to the magnet. And you can move that line around, and that line is our entry. So if I see the green high of day, I can move my line below it for an entry up into the high of day. And that's exactly what the YM did. Look how far away the YM was this morning too. I never dreamed the YM was going to go up. I was thinking the YM was going to go short this morning. And as we got closer and closer to the market open, you can see the YM is moving up. It's moving up. It's getting closer to our entry. It's going to break through that heavy line and put me in the market long. I'm long. And now as it goes and tests, I'm profitable. I'm out of the trade with a sweet profit, almost $200. I was out of that trade in less than a minute. I watched it go up. What's really fantastic is our separate signal system, which one of our signal systems, we have a multitude of types of signals we can take, but they're all very easy to understand. Our signal system, one of them tests the VWAP. The VWAP is a level on the chart that everybody watches. It's really popular and it's tested throughout the day over and over again. So it's not like there's just one VWAP trade during the day. You could have 2 or 3 or even 4. But it gives off signals. After the level is tested, we wanted to develop a system that would change direction. So if we're taking a short into the VWAP, what happens is, very often, everything changes direction and there's a great trade in that opposite direction. So our signal system is aftershock reversal. After the shock of the magnet being hit, after that beautiful shock of the magnet being profitable, it's going to reverse. Aftershock reversal system, ARS. And that's exactly what happened this morning in the VWAP. We could have taken a trade before our magnet took place because this was a different magnet. Price went up, we had our magnet, and then after the magnet, eventually what happens again, new signals get generated. And I'll show you on the real chart. Here was our magnet that I was just showing you. This is the actual real chart. And then after we got out, we got a new signal. A new separate trading system within a system told us to go short on the YM, and it was a beautiful signal. I'll tell you why. If you were paying attention to the markets this morning, and obviously you're trading, you would have been, the market was very negative. The YM was down hundreds of points. It just made a new high on the open, and then it gave a signal to go short. There's nothing better than a short signal after a new high when the market is very bearish. It's a very high probability signal. And if you notice, this signal had quite a few ticks available. And this lets me show you something else that's very important in how we decide whether or not a trade is worth taking. Make believe for a moment that this isn't just a reversal trade. Make believe this was a specific news trade. Maybe it was a jobs report. And after that report, this is what the price did for the next 8 minutes. 8 bars, okay? Each bar is a minute. So we use the ruler and the pencil to very simply just calculate how many ticks did this price go after the news came out. In this case, because the markets are quite volatile, over the course of about 10 minutes after the news, that was a 179 tick move. That is a very, very nice profit. So not only was that an excellent signal for our ARS system, but if we were studying a news event that moved in that way, normally a news event would take that move and do it a little bit more quickly. It might move those 100 ticks, 170 ticks, in 2 or 3 minutes. Then what we would do is create a spreadsheet. We call it a spike sheet. Every news trade, every similar news trade, we create a spike sheet. This is true of every trade that we trade. So for instance, if I'm trading this morning's PPI report, I'm creating a spike sheet. If I'm trading, for instance, consumer confidence, I'm creating a spike sheet. That spike sheet, let me show you what it shows me so you can understand how we get our events, how we decide how we're going to trade it. So I create a spike sheet. Every month I've got a different spike. Hang on, let me see if I can open this. Hope I can open this. Give me a second. All right, so here's a sample of a consumer confidence, which is a very popular report that we trade. This is a spike sheet. Every month we put on this chart, how many ticks did it spike when the news came out? 41 month, 33 the month before, 36 the month before, 37. When we get a trade like this, where it's similar in the way that it spikes, then we look, how much did it reverse? Did it just go in one direction? This simple little spike sheet that just shows how much did it burst and then how much did it reverse direction tells us what the best setup is for that event. When a trade moves a lot and then reverses a lot, we have a setup we call a trap trade. A trap trade is a reversal setup. We expect to make our money when the news comes out and then changes direction. Notice this trade that we were watching this morning, this signal trade, is a one direction trade. That's like a breakout. A trap trade is the exact opposite. It moves in one direction and then it flips and goes the other direction. Let me show you what I mean, but our best setups often can be a great trap trade. There's nothing wrong with a great trade that reverses as long as you know it's going to reverse. So how do you know? Take a trade like the FOMC statement. For 2 years, we've been tracking that event. For 2 years, we've been watching it reverse on the ES. Our trap trade software puts 2 orders on the chart above the orange arrow, which is current price. It puts 2 orders below the current price. When the news comes out, if the market goes up, we sell the market and we make our money when it reverses. If the market goes down, we buy the market and we make our money when it reverses. Here's the FOMC statement. We were trading the ES. Notice the price shot down. We were long in the market after that shot down. And now our orders, our opposite orders now become our targets, and we're making money because the trade reversed just as we expected. We're trading the ES. This trade was hundreds of dollars of profit because it reversed and gave us the opportunity to take big profits. That's what a trap trade does. The market moves in one direction and then it changes direction and gives us a fantastic change and an opportunity to grab that profit when it changes direction. That's a trap trade. We take, I'd say about 30% of our trades during the week are trap trades. They're great to trade. News is often reversing. Excellent opportunities. The key is always study the event. Here's another trap trade. Study the event. Is it an event that reverses? This is a report called existing home sales. We study existing home sales on gold. All right. It's a 10 o'clock report. We have a trap trade set up. Here's our trap trade. The price shoots down, puts me in the market long, and now the price is shooting up. It's shooting up. It's going to hit my first target. Now, let me change that. This particular trade put us in short. I apologize. It put us in short. Let me go back to the beginning. This particular trade put us in short. Watch. It went up first, and then it changed direction. So it's a 10 o'clock report. Existing homes. We're trading gold. I spread my orders. The price changes. It immediately goes up and puts me in the market one short. Now, it almost fills my second order short, just misses. Now it fills it. So I'm 2 orders, 2 contracts short. The price is now going down. I've got a huge profit because it put me in short when it went up and it changed direction and gave me the opportunity to take the profit in the direction opposite to what it first moved. That's what a trap trade does. The price is released, the news is released, the price goes up, puts us in short, and then it changes direction and gives us our profit. That's a trap trade. And how do we know which are the best ones? We use those tools, the pencil and the ruler, to calculate. And it only takes, how long does it take? How long does it take to calculate how a trade responds? Take a look. Let me show you a news trade to give you an example of how a trade responds. So we have a lot of great news trades. We traded Caterpillar. Caterpillar is an earnings trade, and it's a range trade that acts like a breakout. All right, so I'll explain you what I mean. With a range trade, we're creating a range of time. Normally on earnings trades, we create a 30-second range. And every now and then, we have a mini DMM for some of our earnings trades. Not a lot of them, but some of them have this is an earnings trade DMM. And I'm going to teach you how to use a generic earning trade DMM. So if you want to practice trading earnings using the playback function in NinjaTrader, this is a possible way to do it. On our DMM, we always tell you what instrument we're going to trade. We have a feature in our software that what time is the range going to start. So maybe the range will start 6:29 and 30 seconds in the morning, and then it will end at 6:29 and 58 seconds. This is a sample range that we use all the time. 28 seconds, 6:29:30, 6:29:58. That's a sample range. Target 1 is 8 ticks, target 2 is 20 ticks. I would use a stop of 15 to 20. 6 ticks above the range, 6 ticks below the range. That is a sample setup for a generic earnings range trade. 6 ticks above the range, 6 ticks below the range. It's just an item in our software. You type the number 6, and that sets up the range trade. Let me show you what I'm talking about. When you right-click the chart, we click the word strategy, we click News Trader, and we can choose the trade type. The trade type is a range trade. I know that most generic earnings, not a specific earning, if I want to test Verizon's earnings, I look and see what time is Verizon coming out. If Verizon comes out when they say they're going to, let's say Verizon's coming out at 7 this morning, I have a range start time. So I'm going to start the range 30 seconds before 7, 6:59:30. I'm going to end my range 2 seconds before 7 o'clock, 6:59:58. I've got the number of contracts I want to trade, how many positions, how many contracts, just the number 1 or 2 or 3 if I want 3 contracts. What's my target going to be? Maybe I'll do an 8-tick target and I'll do 2 targets. I'll do a 20-tick target. Very easy. What's my stop? What am I going to do if the trade reverses on me? How many ticks do I want to risk? Let's risk 20. Then we have how many ticks above the range, how many ticks below the range, and make sure the range is drawn on the chart. So what does that mean? Ticks above the range, ticks below the range. We're creating a range with time. We're starting at 6:59:30. We're ending pretty much 2 seconds before 7 o'clock. That range draws on the chart. When it's done calculating, it puts our long order 6 ticks above the range, and it puts our short order 6 ticks below the range. That's how we set up an earnings range trade, and then we watch it trade. It's like a breakout using time. So watch what happened in our Caterpillar trade this week. It was awesome. Here's the chart, and we use other tools to help us to trade earnings. What other tools do we use that we teach our members how to have successful earnings trades? Well, for $50, you can open a Thinkorswim account and you can watch stock prices before and after the market opened by just keeping $50 in a Thinkorswim account. You can also get the exact time the news is being released because they have a little news widget that's part of their charts. Very, very important for us. It helps us track when the earnings are coming out, and we can see how the stock is moving on the earnings. That helps us manage our trade. And we also use the free version of TradingView to track the stock chart movement as well. $50 for Thinkorswim, free for TradingView free. We get great tools, news as it's being released. Watch the range trade, watch the way it works like I showed you. So this trade happened to be an early morning trade, Caterpillar. I believe it was 6 in the morning. So let's get to there. Our software has been creating a range for 30 seconds. Now this is Honeywell. Honeywell did not have that great a move, but let's watch it anyway. You could see it popped up, didn't really work, and it reversed on us, and it lost us a little bit of money. Honeywell was a failed earnings trade. Not every trade's a winner. It didn't follow through. Everything started to work like it was going to work, but see there, it changed direction, and it stopped us out. Right after Honeywell, 30 minutes later, and the main reason we were there was for Caterpillar. Caterpillar has been trading very, very well. It had a phenomenal trade last quarter. I mean phenomenal. People made a ton of money on it. Here's a range. We're waiting for the news to come out. We're trading the YM. It bursts up. It hits our first target. Boom. Hits our second target. Every single person that traded that report in the room made a significant amount of money. We made almost $500 on that trade. That's how long that trade took. Took about 10 seconds. And let me see if I have a screenshot of one of our members. Give me 1 second. Caterpillar. One of our members had a real nice trade. He made $647 in one prop account and over $1,000 in his other prop account. Trading our setup. We teach these setups. We want to teach you how to do this. We want you to learn how to take these trades. Take the best of the best setups. And we find these trades by studying each event over and over and over. So I've showed you range trades, breakout trades, trap trades, magnet trades. Let me go over again our ARS system because I'm super excited about our ARS system. After the magnet trade is over, and let me show you another magnet trade just so you could see again what we're talking about. Here's a live gold magnet trade. We saw that gold was getting ready to test the low. Our software puts that heavy line on the chart. That's the entry. We're going to get out of the trade when it tests the magnet. When it hits the magnet, we're getting out of the trade. At least one of the orders. If it keeps going and we put a second order on, we'll make more money. This particular trade chops around a little bit before it fills us. We're filled. Now we're waiting. It's going to test that low. It's negative over 100 ticks. Gold was that morning or afternoon, whatever it was. And the price, it's chopping a little bit. It's chopping a little bit. I'm not really that worried. I've got a nice size stop. It's micro gold this morning. And we're surviving. We're just relaxing, watching. Boom. Hits the magnet. Another profitable magnet trade. After the magnet trade, we have a system. Aftershock reversal. It creates signals based on the high of day, low of day, and based on the VWAP. When we get a change in direction, our software gives a signal to get in. It's a discretionary trade. You then can click a button to enter the trade. Very, very excited about this new system. We also have a standalone ARS system where it'll just generate signals based on our calculations. I love it the best for trading high and low of the day and trading off the VWAP. Those are very, very good signals that we get all throughout the day on your favorite charts. If you like trading the NQ, look at an NQ chart. I promise you, you'll see signals. If you like trading the YM, look at this signal at 12:15 today. What a great signal. How do we calculate when we're studying events to see if it's a good event? We use the ruler, the pencil, and the ruler. You hold down the mouse, drag it to the area you want to calculate, and then when you let it go, it shows you how many ticks. Now I happen to do that wrong, so let me do it right. Let me show you the right way. Click the pencil, click the ruler, hold the left mouse button, drag it to the area, let it go. 175 tick move. That was about 20 minutes. The signal was fabulous. It was a fabulous signal. If you like trading the ES, you can look at various charts to see how are the signals doing today. Go back in time a little bit. Look at the signals. VWAP got tested. Beautiful ES signal, 1140 this morning. I didn't know the ES. I just randomly put the ES on right now. I didn't plan this to look at the ES. I don't even trade the ES hardly at all. Look at that signal. 126 ES ticks, $12.50 a tick. I love our ARS signal system. That's part of our new magnet strategy. Hopefully looking at next week for a software release. We're going to have a big party. It's going to be a lot of fun. These are the setups that I love. Let me go through some more of our slides. We've been here an hour already. Time really is quick when we're getting things done, and today we're really getting things done. Let me shoot through the slides to where we were. All right, so chart setup, what's a magnet, what triggers the magnet trades, the level itself, the attraction of the price. Another great setup that we have. A lot of times we don't even need a signal to take a trade. A lot of times you feel and know what the trend of a market is. A lot of times you've got information on the chart that shows you why you might want to do something. So this morning I was actually struggling a little bit with my oil trades. I had lost money on my first oil trade, and then I made money on my second oil trade. I really felt oil was bullish this morning, and my stop was just a little bit too small on my discretionary scalp. So I took another one because I was positive oil was going to go to the high of day. I was using the magnet, but I was just taking a quick scalp. Instead of setting up a whole trade, I just set up a simple scalp, a target, a stop, and that was it. And I took the trade while we were waiting for the MNQ to open. There's my entry. I was taking along for the test of the high. It takes about 30 seconds to put on the reverse continuation trade. That's what our reversal continuation. This was a continuation. The market was moving up. I felt very strongly it was going to continue up. Over the next 15 minutes or so, it chopped around a bit. Price started moving to the high of the day. Bingo. I moved my stop to safety, and we had a prop trade for over $180 in that trade. It was a great reverse continuation trade. Look how fast it is, though, to put that kind of trade on. Let's say I'm watching gold right now, and I want to get a reverse continue. Right-click the chart, click the strategy, click News Trader, change the breakout to a reverse continue. One position is the default. It's already there. One contract, 30 tick target. I typed the number 30, 30 tick stop. I type the number 30. Choose the account you're trading in. Right now I'm in Sim. I'll leave it in Sim. Label the trade. I always label every trade. GC reverse continue. Apply it. Okay it. Make sure your chart is on Sim because that's what I said I was trading it in. Turn on the trade by checking the box. Now I've got on the chart, I've got a button for going long and I've got a button for going short. Maybe we just took a news trade. The news was incredibly good for the price of gold and we think gold is going to continue going up. I would take an instant long. I enter the trade, it puts my order, and look at that. That was a $300 trade. If that was a real trade with real analysis and I was really right, that was a $300 trade. But it was safe. I had to stop. I couldn't lose $8,000 on that trade. I had a specific stop. I had specific risk. Our reverse continue trades allow you to trade over and over. They are what I call safe scalps. Uncheck it, check it again. I can take the trade again. Do I think the market's still going up? Take another long. Get my stop, make it a little bigger if I want to make it a little bigger. I'm not saying that I know what direction that trade's going. I'm just saying that's how easy it is to put these trades on if you do your work, do your analysis. What direction do you want to take that trade? Is it a good time to trade? Is that a safe market to trade in this environment? That's what we do. We have these great setups. We teach you over and over in all the trade rooms how to take those setups in our trade room. And we want to teach you how to do it. Let me show you a couple of more things. Shoot through the slides again. I'm sorry that I just couldn't be in the right spot. Sometimes life is imperfect. So I showed you our earnings trades. We figure out what earnings are best to trade exactly the same way any other report gets traded. When we study United Health, for instance, we watch their earnings come out 5 in the morning. 5 minutes to 6 in the morning, earnings from United Health are always on time. For years, we've been trading United Health, and for years, we've been making money on their earnings. Our software creates those ranges, and our orders are automatically placed above and below the range. When the earnings are released, it moves the YM, pierces those orders, fills us, and gives us pretty darn fast profits. This was a couple of days ago. It hit my first target almost instantly, and then it kept going up and burst up. Just missed my second target, and then it goes up. I trailed, and it hit the second target. A very nice mega 100 trade. That was like almost $400, $300 on that trade. But what we do when the trade is done, we then measure that spike. Measure the spike. Put it on a spike sheet. If every United Health trade every quarter is 70 or 80 ticks, then we know how to choose intelligent targets. It's very simple to do betting on any event. Just track the way it moves when the event takes place. Once again, using the pencil and the ruler. It's very easy to find the best trades, put them on the spike sheet, and there you have it. One more setup that we're trading in our room, market opens. On market opens, we trade using magnets and we trade breakouts. This morning we traded the MNQ and we traded the YM. Let me show you the MNQ. We trade the MNQ in our funded account. We're trying to get paid by Bull and Ox right now. We have a funded account. Every morning I trade the MNQ. Middle chart. Middle chart. 9:30 is the US market open. We have a very specific setup. I have target 1, 30 ticks. Target 2 is 100 ticks. I've got a 150 tick stop on the MNQ, and we entered the trade at 929.59 with a 40 tick bracket. That's our trade setup every morning mostly. If the market's a little bit less volatile, we could use a slightly smaller bracket. Here's the trade. Let me show it to you. And on the right side, I'm watching the YM for the magnet trade on the open. We trade YM magnets.
Order filled.
Here comes the open. I thought we'd go short this morning. Price pops up, immediately fills us long, immediately shoots through both my targets. MNQ, instant winner. That's over. The trade's done. That was like a 8-second trade. Then we watched the YM go a direction we didn't think it would go. I thought it was going short. YM goes long, puts us in the market, bursts through. Very, very nice winning YM open trade. People made money in the market this morning trading with us. We teach you how to do this, and that is my goal these days. I want to teach you how to do this, and I have an offer for you that you absolutely should not refuse. Here's the deal. How would you like to join us for all of our upcoming news, earnings, and magnet trade rooms? How would you like to be an insider and get our new magnet strategy before anybody else with our full-blown members? Well, you have an opportunity to do that. If we release the magnet next week or the week after, and you take us up on this offer, you're going to be a magnet trader with the new version, because we don't hold anything back on this order. We include all of our software. We include all of our trade reports. We include our Pro Trade Room subscription. You're welcome to come into every trade room that we have, and we have anywhere between 3 and 5 trade rooms a day, almost every single day. You get access to the Trap Trade software. We teach you all about prop accounts. We tell you what companies have good deals. We try to help you learn to trade that we trade. This is a final trial opportunity. This trial is going to expire Sunday at midnight. For $20.26, you get 30 days with 10-minute trades. It renews for $97 a month. You can cancel anytime by just sending an email to help@10minutetrades.com. If you don't want to stay with us before it renews, the only thing that we ask, please cancel your trial before the price charges. That's it. www.gopro25.com is the sale website. Let me put it into the chat. But it's $20.26 for the new year, 2026, right? www.gopro25.com. Go to the website, join up with us. This is going to be a fantastic 2026. The markets are crazy volatile already. Gold moved $300 today. That link will take you to this website. All you do is you get some free gifts that are awesome. You get our 10-minute trade quick start video, all the daily market movers, the Pro Trade Room, Master Strategy, a Magnet Strategy Masterclass, Trap Trade Access, Magnet Trade Access, the new magnet the minute it's released. All you do is just place your order, $20.26. 30 days, it becomes our regular price, $97 a month. This expires Sunday at midnight. If you don't want to stay, send us an email, help@10minutetrades.com. This is for new members only. If you just took a trial last month, you can't do it again. But we have a special link for you if you want to stay with us or rejoin. If you've taken a trial before, we've got a great deal for you. Just send us an email that you're interested in doing it. This will expire Sunday at midnight. So head over to www.gopro25.com, everyone. Everything that you get, the News Trader software suite, the Magnet Trade setup, learn the appointment-based trading method. Choose the news events that you want to trade. You don't have to trade every news event. Choose the ones that speak to you, the ones that you're comfortable trading, the ones that fit your time. Maybe you have a full-time job and you can only trade certain times of day. Earnings trade rooms. Trade the best ones, the ones that we tell you are the best. Those are the ones you want to schedule. Learn how to trade selected stock earnings with futures. That's what we do in our trade rooms. Trade on a schedule, your schedule, the schedule you want to trade on. I will guide you step by step in all of our trade rooms. If you need help, if you have any extra questions, folks, just email us, help@10minutetrades.com. If you take the trial and you want to cancel it, help@10minutetrades.com. Go over there, www.gopro25.com. New members, join up with us right now. It is a phenomenal price. You will learn a skill that you can have for the rest of your life, and I want to teach you how to do it. I hope that you enjoyed this webinar and learned our best setups, best trap trades, FOMC, retail sales, existing homes. Those are 3 great winning trap trades. Best earnings trades, Caterpillar, United Health, Home Depot. Those are 3 great earnings trades that we love every quarter. Best breakout trades, U.S. jobs report, on bonds, all sorts of, you know what, there's so many breakout trades. The breakout trades are our DNA, if you know what I mean. The breakout trades are how we started the company. So interesting breakout trades. I would say on this list we've got the market opens. Great breakout trading the MNQ. Market open. This week we had a lot of earnings trades. Consumer confidence. We trade magnets around consumer confidence. If a trade, for instance, is not a great breakout, what if we have a trade that's not a great breakout? What if we've done an unbelievable amount of testing and we just can't come up with a great breakout? There's almost always a magnet or a reversal around that news. Other good breakouts. Let me see if I can just find one on here. GDP, very possibly, good breakout. PCE price index, lots of breakouts. The key is this. When we get to the trade room, we go over all the data. If it's not performing well as a breakout, we don't trade it. The whole point of everything that we do, we hold your hand in the beginning. We teach you how to run the setups, how to input the setups, how to trade the setups so that you can trade the best of the best setups and understand how to choose them when we're not around. Many members find extra trades on their own. They learn how to design the trades. We teach you how to test the trades using market playback. There's many webinars online where we teach you how to rerun a trade. It takes about 5 minutes to rerun a trade so you could change your setup and see what might have worked if a trade didn't work, or you could see what would have given you a better profit. We teach you all these methodologies, and it's easy. It doesn't take years and years. So join us, folks, at www.gopro25.com. Let me show you one final trade. Don't you want to learn how to do this? I think you do. So let me show you one great one. First, I'll show you a member's profit screen. $866 trading Broadcom's earnings. That's one of the screenshots one of our members showed us. And then I'll show you our favorite trade these days. It really has to be United Health. It's been the best. It's just been the best. There's no way around it. So let's take a look at United Health because it's been moving great. This was United Health in October. Look at that move. The price shot up. It hit both targets, and we made a profit. Only $300 that week, that quarter, because it didn't move as much as it did the quarter before. The quarter before, United Health moved even more. Sometimes it's $1,000 trade. Sometimes you get extra ticks because there's slippage in your favor, something that we call positive slippage. So let me end this with one more United Health trade because it is one of our absolute favorites. Give me half a second. Let's do this one. April's United Health was phenomenal. I showed you July. Here's April. There's our range. Look at that price. That hit all of our targets. That was almost $400, and it took 1 second. It took 1 second. That was the beauty of that trade. United Health, 1 second. Let me show you one more just because it's fun. These trades are fun. Let's see, what did January do? Hopefully it was a winner. I did not pre-screen this. So here's January. Looks like a winner to me. Price shoots down. You can see it's a different chart. It's not the same trade over and over. Price shoots down. Chops a little bit. You wait. There it goes. Hits the first target. Expand the target. Make it bigger. Trail the stop to get more ticks. Trail the stop to get more ticks. That's a beautiful trade when that happens. Trail the stop. Get more ticks. Make the target up. I brought the target up. I thought the price had stopped moving. Another great United Health trade, folks. We want to teach you so you could have an $866 trade on United Health or Broadcom or Caterpillar. You can do it. All you got to do is go to www.gopro25.com. Join us, $20.26. What do you got to lose? You can start trading with us right away if you know how to trade. If you don't know how to trade, we're going to teach you how to do it. Lee Goldstein here, folks. Thank you so much for joining the webinar. I'd love to see you in the trade room next week because for sure we're going to have some great opportunities to make profits, and I'll see you in the trade room. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thanks for joining this webinar and allow me to spend this time with you.